Hi, my name's Phil Craig and I'm the leader of the Referendum Party. And at the Referendum Party, we are pushing for a referendum to be held in the Western Cape to ask Western Cape voters whether they want the Western Cape to break away from South Africa to form its own sovereign state. And at the heart of this battle for Cape independence is an ideological debate that is playing out in South Africa. And there are two ideologies that are competing with each other and that simply cannot coexist. The first is the ideology or doctrine of non-racialism. This is a founding principle of the South African Constitution. It says that South Africa belongs equally to all of us who live here. It says all of us have made a contribution to building the country that South Africa now is, and that each of us is then able to fulfill or must be able to fulfill our potential regardless of our skin colour or race, which mustn't now be what defines us. And at the Referendum Party, we are deeply non-racial. We want to live in a non-racial society. The other doctrine or ideology is the doctrine of African nationalism. And whilst this isn't a constitutional principle, it's actually our lived reality in South Africa. And African nationalism says that South Africa doesn't actually belong equally to everybody who lives here. South Africa is primarily an African country and therefore predominantly or firstly belongs to African people, and of course by which they mean black African people. And thereafter we see this slew of race-based policies and actions and comments from our government which are all along the basis of race, and particularly ethnic minorities then are vilified and criticised and seen as second-class citizens, if I can use that word. Perhaps they're welcome to be here, but they're welcome to be here on the terms set by the true owners of South Africa, the African nationalists. And this is an ideology that we absolutely reject as non-racialists. And how does this play out? Well, we can see how this plays out in elections. And if we look at the 2019 election, you'll see that in the Western Cape, voters were 3 times more likely to vote for a political party that supported non-racialism than one that was African nationalistic. Whereas in the rest of South Africa, voters were 4.5 times more likely to vote for African nationalism than they were for non-racialism. We have this absolute divide. And here in the Western Cape, if we want to live in a non-racial society, if we want to make that constitutional principle of non-racialism a reality in our daily lives, then we need to break away from South Africa, where the majority of people do not actually want to live in a non-racial society. And this is really important to allow people, to allow us to fulfill our potential and to live in this society where we're not defined by our race. So that's why one of the main reasons we're fighting for Cape independence. If you also are a non-racialist, you want to live in this non-racial society in the Western Cape, then please come visit us at our website, www.referendumparty.org, or follow us on social media at Vote Referendum and hear more about us. We'd love for you to follow us and vote for us ultimately in 2024 so that we can call a referendum, we can establish an independent Western Cape, and we can create this vibrant, non-racial society at Africa's southern tip, and in doing so, which will lead to a first world country where we all fulfill our potential as equals. Thank you.